All right, what's up, guys? I am doing a little non-spoiler reaction after seeing The Flash. Now, I want to start off this video by saying I wasn't sure if I was going to see the movie. I think for obvious reasons, um, and we'll touch on them just a little bit. Again, no spoilers here. Everything that I do touch on will be stuff that we've seen from the trailers, so no worries there. Um, Ezra Miller, not the greatest guy. We already know this, right? It's it's no secret to everybody, especially the last year or two. He's gotten himself into quite a bit of trouble. Um, that being said, the big question that's raised is this movie worth seeing? Um, Obviously, he's the main character. He's the main actor, main character. Um, this movie is not just a Flash movie. Again, we see that from the trailer, even though it is called The Flash. There's honestly so much that I could say, but I'm trying to keep the video short here for you guys. It's going to be one of those classic situations where, you know, this movie will be for you if you can separate the art from the artist. Not everyone can do that, and I respect that. I've had trouble doing that in the past with certain things too. More so when it comes to like music and musicians, that sort of thing. But if you can do that, this movie is actually pretty solid. And I say that on one end, being a huge DC fan, not DCU movie fan, but DC fan. Like growing up, Batman was my favorite superhero. Superman up there for me for a while too. Green Lantern, The Flash. Always been a huge DC fan. I kind of go into the DCU films with pretty low expectations because I've been let down so many times, and they just don't hold up compared to Marvel usually. So, take all this with a grain of salt. It kind of is what it is, but this movie is actually pretty solid. And again, going back to Ezra Miller, even before he got in all that trouble, which we don't really have to even talk about much more. Again, always been a big fan of the Flash as a character. I think Ezra Miller's performance as the Flash is just not very relatable to me, and I think like his portrayal of the character is not really the Flash that I grew up with from the animated series and from the ton of comics that I used to read as a kid. It's much different, so it's never been for me. I've always thought I've never really liked Ezra Miller as the Flash personally. Again, even before all the drama. But again, on the other hand, I will say, and it's weird too, but if I'm just being completely honest, this is the best that he's done in any of his films. So again, it goes back to it. If you can separate the art from the artist, like he does the best job and the best work in this film. So I think that's actually going to play at least a little part in the enjoyment that you might get if you do end up going and seeing it. I guess maybe with that out of the way, I want to talk about some of the other really great things about this film. Again, spoiler free. We know Michael Keaton is in the film. He might be the best part of the movie, honestly. And like I've always liked Michael Keaton. Again, I used to watch those older Batman films with my dad quite a bit, and yeah, he shines in this film. It's pretty awesome, and just to hear his Batman theme from his movies is just really awesome. That was a great part of the film. He does incredible work in the movie. The other big takeaway, which a lot of people are talking about as well, can't remember the actress's name, but she plays Supergirl in the film. She's awesome. She's like really awesome, and I think a lot of people are really going to be enjoying her character in this movie. And Zod was awesome again. Very cool. Yeah, those were like the big things that really stood out to me. If you know the story of The Flash, I think a lot of this movie is predictable. It still has a little bit different spin, but yeah, a lot of it is predictable. But it's also just really fun. Like, it's a really fun movie. I think the humor worked throughout the film. It's got some great songs. Yeah, it's better than I thought it would be. I went in with low expectations, but honestly, I just kept hearing so many incredible things about the movie. And so, and I think what made me end up going to see it and set aside those feelings that I have, like the negative feelings about certain people. What did it for me, what brought me there, was hearing that if you're a DC fan, like a true DC fan who grew up with the comics and things like that, and just like appreciate all the different DC characters, like you're going to be rewarded, and just like the cameos and everything, they really pay off. And that was 100% true. There's some awesome cameos, there's some awesome Easter eggs in this film. It was really fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised to say it, but the movie was pretty solid. Overall, the graphics were pretty good. A couple parts weren't, but for the most part, they were really good. And I think one of the last things that I'll say here is that we also know that this is the end of the DCEU, and so they definitely pay homage to Zack Snyder and everything that he's done for the DCEU. Whether you like that or not, I think he has done some great things. A lot of people hold Man of Steel in really high regards. I'm not 100% sure what I would rank first. I need to watch Man of Steel again, but I'm almost certain that Man of Steel and this Flash movie are the two best DCEU movies of all. And it's possible, but the Flash might be the best out of all of them. And we're talking Batman v Superman, Aquaman, both Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad. Yeah, this might be the best, honestly. If I'm just being honest, and again, if I'm separating the art from the artist, and it doesn't all have to do with Ezra Miller, like he does do a good job in this film, but the reasons I liked it the most were, again, for Michael Keaton, for Supergirl. Ben Affleck's Batman was pretty cool in this too, and then all the awesome cameos again. It was just a lot of fun. So, is it worth going to see The Flash? It might just be. Yeah, at least that's what I think. I will be doing a spoiler full review at some point here in the near future, so look out for that. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out the spoiler review and breakdown for Across the Spider-Verse with my good friend Marcellus Barnes from the Sidekicks podcast. Go follow them over there. They do amazing work. he's great. Like Marcellus he's awesome, and we had a blast on that episode. It was a really solid breakdown, if I do say so myself. And then, stay tuned because me and Jake are also going to be doing a review on Transformers, the new Transformers that came out. And we've got some stuff in the works for, some Ahsoka videos leading up to the Ahsoka show. And we're also going to be getting ready for Secret Invasion. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching this. And we will catch you in the next one.